trying to figure out something here for mufflers. The Corvette mufflers, you can see them hanging under the C-clamp there. They don't really add anything. And it's the way that was the piece there I cut out of there was patching that triangular shaped hole. And I looked around, I couldn't find any steel that was any good that I had. I did find this 1x3 channel here, and I've got a couple 1-inch pieces that I can weld into the what's left of that Volkswagen frame there. You can see the other muffler hanging down there. And I've got it pretty straight with the car and level. I think I can get this in place, tack it good, and then weld it into the car. I've got where I can get a fairly decent weld there on top of it. Probably get a little on the bottom, but this is just tin. It's really not bumper quality material, but this does finish it up a little bit. Gives me a square rear end. So I'm gonna go with that, tack it together, and then I'll take it out and clean it so I can weld it good. First thing is to clamp it up to get it all straight. It's still not very pretty, but a lot better than it was. It's more of a, it's pretty strong. It's not bumper strong, but it's mostly just for the exhaust pipes. I'm not sure what I'll do with that. And I may go up inside and put some braces against the Corvette frame down into this. For right now, really the only thing it's holding is just this sheet metal, and which is not very strong. You know, it's part of that old Volkswagen, and it's welded on pretty good. I'll probably figure out some way of putting a heavy brace. The trouble is that the Corvette bracing point is up about that tail light someplace. You know, this is a foot lower. But anyway, it kind of looks like a bumper. I'm probably showing you the roof or something, talking about the bumper. But it was a pretty good lick for today. With this Volkswagen ECO there, I had the kind of adapter that ran up into the window crank. I got a different one that has its own track. It was all welded together in one piece, but it was so long that, you know, it was almost up to the top of the window. So the instructions say to cut off a little bit of this guide tube on the end, 6 or 7 inches, and put it in here. The problem is that when it try to get it up here, so you can see when it puts a little pressure on it, it's just blowing the hose off. I tried putting weld on it here. This last one was actually JB welded on. The weld on this part here was just to give it some tooth for the hose clamps to grab. I put it on when it was hot. I probably messed up my tubing here. I probably melted it, and now it won't grab at all. And I've got some, I thought about using the old Volkswagen iron piece here. You know, if I can put it in here and tack weld it, man, that won't come out for sure. But I've got some other fuel hose here that's the right size. It's quite a bit bigger diameter on the outside, but the inside is the same. And it's really stiff, hard stuff. So I'm going to try to get all this off of here and get that motor out of there and see what I can do. This one blew off, and what I did, I just I wired that hose clamp on, so it's holding okay. But this one, that ain't going to happen. So anyway, I'm going to try to roll this thing up and take out that plastic piece. First thing I'm going to do is cut off about 3/4 of an inch of it, get it back into the good part that wasn't melted, force it on there, and weld me a little bracket so I can put some wire on it and tie it. I can do that without taking this whole window apart again. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is fix that connection right there. Killed two birds with one stone here. I had a little piece of the bracket that was left over that I cut off. I just tack welded it on there. Got me an old rusty hose clamp. The rest I don't care about, but it's not one of the little cheap Chinese ones, Ideal hose clamp or something like that. I got it on there and it tightened up really good, and I wired it. So I should have up and down power here. Get my key on. There's it up, it's almost up. And I'm hitting in the front. I've got something kind of sticking. Goes good till it hits right there, and it's hitting the front. It's going all the way up and locking and not blowing that off. Of course, I can see that that's wiggling around. So I'd probably just get me another brace in here on that. Probably from here to down here in this. Well, don't look like my wiring job was very good. Anyway, I'll kind of rethink and redo that, and we'll move on a little further. It was quite a adventure. Anyway, this place right here was hitting this and caused the window to go in and out of the channel. I got me another mount down there. It's just tacked in. There's not really a lot of force. The same thing here with the motor. It's not moving. My good hose clamp on the new piece of the rubber worked okay. but it's going up and down all right. Here's our down. It's all the way up in there. It's hitting up here where the old door striker was, but it's going down. It's going up pretty smooth, and you can see my little tube is flexing there, but it's not pulling off or breaking. And it is pushing the window up. I don't have the side rubbers up in here. And one thing, because it's hitting what's left of that striker that was up in there, or the door stop. But the window's in. I thought it was going to be quite a bit stronger than the other one that ran the crank, but it's really not. It's not that powerful. It'll squish your finger pretty good. But when I put the two rubbers in here, you can see I pulled them out. They really just don't have enough force to push the whole window. So probably what I'll do is put like 6 inches here, maybe 6 inches there, and put a full one on the outside and cut it down so it's not pressing on the window so hard. But it's going up and down, and it's solid, and it's more or less meeting. This little thing here come off of the metal, so it don't look right, but it is all the way up and in and seated, and it is going up and down. And of course I've got it all jury rigged up over there into the dash, and to not a very good connection. What I'm going to do is I've got a always on hot wire right there. It's going straight to the battery, and that's probably where I'm going to wire it into, so I don't have so much current drop, and it'll give those motors a little more power. So it's been whole day playing with this, but now I know on the other door I need to cut this out to start with, and I know how to cut that up to make it work right. I can use a piece I cut off, weld a bracket on it. I can get me some good hose clamps. These little brackets are from the other window thing. I had quite a few of them left, so they're acting as good metal. I probably ought to put one more on here because that motor is moving a little, and I probably ought to put some kind of a metal curve there under that bend, and just kind of clamp it in there. I could probably get half a piece of pipe or something just to keep this from flexing as much. So that's what I had to do, cut off this bottom brace. I was able to use this top pole. I had to move it a little. Right here, I had to move it a little over to the right. I drilled a new hole here. I think on the other one, I don't know if I'll put it in the door there, because I had to cut this bottom piece of the door out in order to get the channel in, because it's got like a 3/8 edge that goes back there. So this is all trial and error. I probably should have done all my trial and error on the passenger side, but this was the one that moved the best. So I'll show you here on the passenger side of what well, the door's not going to open there. I got too much junk. But there's a big screw that goes in the front of the door, and I'll have to take a big impact, and that'll get the rest of the hardware out of the right in this area here that the door latch, you see what's left of it there, a door stop. I can take that out and it'll keep my window from hitting. So it looks like it's good enough, and I'll have to play with these rubbers and trim them a little so they go up and down. And I do have this really good solid piece of fuel line. It's a lot stronger than this polyethylene. I think I'll put that on the passenger side instead of that little piece there. Get good hose clamps and I'll get that running right from the start. So anyway, the power windows are now good. Well, basic mechanics of them are good, and it'll be easy now to measure where I need to cut and stuff on the other door. And the good thing about all this is it's all flush, and nice fancy compressor switch. It's all flush and the door panels will go on. So moving along, if I put the door panels on, I got no place to grab the door and close it. So, but the armrests are kind of expensive. Maybe I'll just figure out something for now to close it with. Anyway, moving along, Mr. Corvette, whatever you call it, Volkswagen. I've got quite a bit. I'll show you one more thing I did here on this. The front end's all good, but I got a 10-inch air cleaner there, and works real good. Fits up in the hole, doesn't hit anything. The hood still closes good. So that ought to make it run better with that air cleaner. That other one was a 6-inch one. It was all plugged up. Anyway, I'll kind of try to get this uploaded for you. I got all the front end, the lights and everything all in, and they work good. I'll just take my bike home, leave this for now, rather than trying to get it all packed up and driving. I'll just lock up my door. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And on the other door over there, I'm gonna shoot a little better video. I found one guy that on the internet that had cut one of these up and showed how to do it, but he put it on fast forward with loud rock and roll music, and you really couldn't see anything he was doing. But at least give me enough idea that I was able to figure it out myself. So when I cut up this one in the next video, I'll just make it one video of how to put in these power windows. And since I know where the problems are, it'll be very informative and a little more content for you. So like and subscribe, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.